What's poppin', y'all? It's your boy Slim with Pick Up the Sticks Gaming, back with another video. And today is Xbox gamers' favorite time of the year. It's time for that Xbox showcase. It's time for Xbox to show us what they got in store for us for 2023 and beyond. It's time for us to put our predictions on what we think they're gonna have at the showcase, what we know they're gonna have at the showcase, and what we hope they're gonna have at the showcase. So I hope y'all enjoy the video and let's get it.
Yeah! It's wobbling out there now! Yeah!
Alright guys, so Aaron Greenberg on Twitter has been putting out a few tweets. He's been letting us know that we can expect gameplay, no cinematics, and biggest of all, no movie reveals. So we can expect straight gameplay of all these games we're gonna be seeing. New games, old games they already announced, and hopefully we get some surprises. For the first game of my Xbox Showcase predictions, I have Lightyear Frontier. Lightyear Frontier is a game being developed by Framebreak. It is a co-op farming game. It was supposed to release March 2023, but the game ended up being delayed because they were running into issues. But the game kind of reminds me of No Man's Sky as far as like the graphics and the vibes. I don't really see too many creatures running around in the trailer, but the game still looks interesting. It's real colorful. It's gonna be coming to Gamepass day one, so that's gonna be pretty cool. And it is co-op. So the devs for this game say they don't want it to be too grindy. They want it to be kind of a relaxing experience for you and your friends when y'all playing it. So the game is not too story focused. It's gonna be more focused on you exploring the world with your friends and coming up with your own adventure. This game should be releasing sometime this year. We might get more information on it at the showcase, being that it was delayed, but it's still an interesting game. It looks like something I would play. You know, it's kind of like a kiddie game at the same time. I would check it out. But that's it for Lightyear Frontier. So the next game I'm expecting to see is that game from Kojima that Xbox been working on. So we all know Xbox has an exclusive deal with Kojima for an Xbox game, but we don't know exactly what it is just yet. We haven't got any updates on it. Hopefully we'll be seeing a little bit of gameplay or something soon, being that Aaron Greenberg did say we shouldn't see any cinematics. It'll be in-game, in-engine gameplay, if anything, so hopefully we see something from that game. All right, so the next game I'm expecting to see is Fable. So the new Fable game is gonna be developed by Playground Games. We don't know if it's gonna be a reboot or if it's gonna be Fable 4. I'm hoping for a reboot, to be honest. And I'm hoping for a reboot with a lot of these Xbox games, to be honest, because a lot of them feel outdated in my opinion. So we saw that recent video Microsoft put out of the trail of glitter leading to the room and the computer, showing that it's going to be big news at the Microsoft event. It was announced in 2020, so we definitely should have an update by now. It's been 3 years since they announced the game, so we definitely should have an update from Fable at that event as well. So the next game I'm expecting to see at the event is Everwild. Everwild is being developed by Rare. They announced the game in 2019 and we haven't had an update since. So the game looks pretty good from what they've seen in the CGI. So they're saying the game is more focused on exploration and interacting with creatures. And the story revolves around nature and your connection with nature and those type of things. So hopefully we get an update on this game. It looks pretty interesting. Hopefully we get to definitely see some gameplay if they do show it, you know, and get an update on Everwild. The next game I'm expecting to see is State of Decay 3. State of Decay 3 is being developed by Undead Labs. So State of Decay 3 was announced in 2020. Since then, they have been running into a few issues with the development of the game. Undead Labs, they were having some issues with the management at the company and things like that. The coalition who works on Gears of War stepped in to kind of help them out on the game. So hopefully they made some progress and hopefully they're ready to go ahead and release the next version of State of Decay. It's a very interesting formula they have with those games, you know, a survival horror game with multiplayer elements. So hopefully they get that together, you know, and it'll be nice to see them go ahead and bring this game into the next generation. This should be the best version of this game, you know, being that they've had 2 times to go ahead and try to get it right. So hopefully now they perfected the formula and we see the best version of State of Decay 3 we can get. But that's it for State of Decay 3. So one of the games I definitely expect that we're gonna see is Hellblade 2. Hellblade 2 is being developed by Ninja Theory, and they're doing a great job on the game for what we've seen so far. The trailer that they showed was amazing. I would say it's the best looking game we've seen so far. The graphics in this game are definitely taking advantage of Unreal Engine 5, and it shows. It's probably one of the best looking games we will see this generation. And being that Ninja Theory did that show with Epic Games, where they were showing off the gameplay and the mocap of the game and how quick they're able to mocap the game, I'm definitely expecting us to have this game out soon. I'm kind of expecting the 2023 release date, to be honest, because they've been showing off a lot of gameplay. They've already shown in-game footage, so the game should be definitely close to being finished. So hopefully we definitely get an update from Hellblade 2 at this game show. The next game I'm expecting information on is Project Mara, which is also being developed by Ninja Theory. So Ninja Theory is saying that Project Mara is similar to Hellblade because of the mental health aspects. The game explores mental health as well. The main protagonist is basically in a mental health hospital. We don't really know exactly what's going to be happening there. We haven't had an update on that game, but they do expect to develop this game with next generation hardware. It should be Unreal Engine 5, just like Hellblade as well, but we should get an update on this game as well. The next game I'm expecting to see is the Outer Worlds 2. So Outer Worlds 2 is being developed by Obsidian. We already got a CGI trailer saying that they really don't know exactly what the game is going to be about yet, but hopefully now they have everything set up and they've started working on the game and they have some gameplay for us to kind of show, you know, what it's going to be. But I don't really have too much information because they didn't have a lot of information regarding Outer Worlds 2. You know, if you played Outer Worlds 1, you probably pretty much know what the game is about. It's kind of like a Fallout type game, first person. You make decisions and level up, things like that. But if you like, you know, Fallout, Bethesda type games, you'll like Outer Worlds for sure. Outer Worlds 2, we should definitely get some information from that game at the showcase. So the next game I'm expecting to see is Avowed. Avowed was announced in 2020 and is being developed by Obsidian Entertainment. It's gonna be a first-person RPG style game similar to Skyrim. The game looks pretty interesting. The game is gonna have ruin-based powers with sword combat. It's gonna be set in the world of Pillars of Eternity. I personally never played Pillars of Eternity. I know a lot of people have played that game, but I haven't played it. But I have played Skyrim and I'm checking out Avowed since it looks so much like Skyrim. That probably make me sound like a casual, but it is what it is. So Avowed, hopefully we get an update on that. Hopefully they actually have some gameplay for us because so far we've only got CGI trailers for that as well. So the next game I'm expecting to see is Perfect Dark from not AAA studio, but Quadruple A studio, The Initiative. So Perfect Dark, if you didn't know, is a first-person game that came out in the early 2000s. It's a spy thriller, similar to, it's like a James Bond kind of, you know, it kind of reminded you like an old school James Bond game. It was an old school game that came out in the 2000s, so if you play it, that's what it'll be similar to, like the James Bond, like the graphics and stuff like that. It'd probably be a little bit dated if you tried to play it now, but it was a pretty good game for its time. So we're getting a reboot on that. They announced it in 2020, but we haven't had any updates since. So hopefully we're gonna be getting some gameplay for this game, or at least an update on when the game is gonna be released from this Quadruple A studio. So the next game I'm expecting to see is Contraband. So Contraband is from Avalanche Studios. So Avalanche Studios is known for the Just Cause series, the Rage series, and they're gonna be making Contraband. Their most recent game, Ravenbound, it wasn't too hot, but hopefully Contraband is more of a Just Cause Mad Max style game. So far, we don't have too much information on Contraband. The only thing we have is Welcome to Contraband, a co-op smuggler's paradise set in the fictional world of 1970s beyond, brought to you by Avalanche Studios and Xbox Game Studios, exclusive to Xbox Series X and S, and coming to Gamepass, Steam, and Windows 10 PC. That's the only thing we have so far. That's the only thing it says on the website. So hopefully we get some information on this game. We do know this is gonna be a co-op game, so hopefully it has some destruction like Just Cause and it's over the top as well, but hopefully we get some information on Contraband. All right, so that's it for the games I'm expecting. These are a few studios I'm expecting games from, or we've heard games coming from these studios. So let's go ahead and go over those. The first studio is Compulsion Games. Compulsion Games, they worked on We Happy Few. and they announced that they have a game coming soon. So right now their current game is in the alpha build stage. It's said to be a third-person game, and it's set to be in a Southern Gothic world. The game is called Project Midnight currently. So hopefully we get an update on Project Midnight and what type of game it's gonna be. Sounds pretty dope, a game in a Southern Gothic world and third-person view. The next studio I'm expecting to hear from is Double Fine Studios. So in the documentary of the making of Psychonauts 2, Tim Schafer announced that they have multiple games in development currently. So hopefully we get an update on one of those games at the showcase. Tim Schafer, he's a great developer, great team leader. He makes great games, and hopefully we get an update on what he's got coming at the showcase as well. So the next studio I'm expecting to hear from is id Software. So it said that they could be working on another Doom game or possibly working on another Rage game. We don't know yet. Hopefully they reboot the Rage franchise and bringing it to the next generation. But hopefully id Software is working on something. They did great with Doom Eternal, and we haven't heard too much from them since. So hopefully they have a new game in the works for us, and that's it for id Software. So Certain Affinity, they are working on Halo right now, helping 343 get Halo together, and they are working on a game mode for Halo. But we did get a rumor from a Project Certe that they're working on, and it said that Project Certe could be a Monster Hunter type game. We recently got a new Monster Hunter type game with Wild Hearts. Wild Hearts was a really nice update to the formula with the type of building you can do in the game and things like that. It was real interesting the way they changed the formula of Monster Hunter, but I feel like a lot of other companies can definitely reinvent that formula and go ahead and add to it. So that'll be dope to see Certain Affinity go ahead and develop that game, and then it'll be in Gamepass as well. So it could have a major fan base if they do it right and come out with a great game. That'll be dope to see if they announce that Monster Hunter style game at the showcase as well. The next studio I hope to hear from is ZeniMax Online Studios. The only game they really been working on lately is the Elder Scrolls Online, but they did announce that they did have another game in the works, which is supposed to be another online game. That's gonna be pretty dope for Xbox fans as well. It's gonna be coming to day one Game Pass, and it's gonna be an online game. So hopefully we see something from them at the showcase as well about what they have coming from ZeniMax Online Studios. So that was it for me on the games I'm hoping to see. Some of the expectations that I have for the showcase are that we get at least one other game besides Starfield and Forza coming this year. I'm hoping that we see at least Hellblade, or hopefully we get like another surprise drop like we did earlier this year with Hi-Fi Rush. But hopefully we get something else coming as well, because a lot of these games been announced in 2020 and we haven't had an update since on these games. So by now, at least one of those games y'all announced for 2020 should be ready to go out by 2023 or the end of 2023. Those are my expectations. I put some big expectations on Sony. They kind of passed, but they kind of failed. I said that I wanted to see at least one multiplayer game coming from Sony this year, but they don't have that. They only have Spider-Man for them this year, so they kind of failed. But I'm hoping that Microsoft has at least one other game besides Starfield and Forza that's gonna be coming this year. And it's gonna be a major L if they only have Starfield and Forza coming out next year, and we only got Starfield for the end of the year, in my opinion. Because, we went 2020 with no games. I would hope for at least 6 exclusives this year. If it was me, that's what I'd give my fans, because, y'all went a whole year with no games. We expect y'all to at least have some, going in the background while we're waiting. That's it for my predictions. This is gonna be a pretty long video. I hope y'all enjoy it, So if you did enjoy the video, go ahead and hit that like button. Leave me a comment on what games y'all expecting to see at the showcase, or what games y'all expecting Microsoft to show. And go ahead and subscribe if you like the content